What's up, guys? It's Stops with Weekend Warriors. Here we are, Xcom 2, We're the Chosen. This is episode 4, and let's get right back into the war. We got a couple of excavations going on. We have the, we're clearing some alien debris there on the right and underneath. I think we can build another building. Probably wrong, though, yeah. So I think either I'm going to get the training center or the guerrilla tactics school up. I haven't necessarily decided yet. Guerrilla Tactics School is going to give us our squad increases, which honestly, the earlier we can get those, the better. But we're still going to need a couple of soldier upgrades. I think we can get rank 2. We just need the supplies. We can get the 5-member squad upgrade. We just need the supplies to do so once we get that Guerrilla Tactics School built. And luckily, supplies scan did pop, so we'll probably do that once we finish the rookies that we're in the middle of scanning. I'm pretty sure it got interrupted by that lost mission we did in the last episode. So there's hybrid materials done. That's going to unlock plated armor, and we got a breakthrough on improved assault rifles. That's incredibly tempting, but we're not using. Well, we are using our supports, and it'll help our rookies out quite a bit. But instead, let's go for the experimental weapons. That's going to unlock our alien hunters gear, which will, I think we have to have the proving grounds to build, if I'm not mistaken. But let's continue this rookie scan. We're going to finish up a couple of things, actually. There's some more alien debris cleared, which I think actually, yeah, it puts us in enough to go ahead and get the Guerrilla Tactics School, which I'm going to start building now. Pretty sure, yeah. Pretty sure I build that now, yeah. That is going to put us a little closer to our power limit. We got one more building we can build before the power limit, and that's probably going to be the training center. And then I'll worry about getting a power relay up. In the center there, that still has 7 days of clearing. We're probably going to put a workshop. So I'll probably build the power center, then the workshop, then the proving grounds. That's probably the way I'll go through it. And look at that. We finished scanning our rookies, and pretty sure we got our good old friend Beautiful Sausage there. That's our Discord friend Marv GG. That's gonna be great. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish up these supplies. Oh man, that's beautiful. Of course it's beautiful. His name's Beautiful Sausage. So.
Nothing on the local comms. Advent's been quiet lately. I'm guessing we have you to thank for that.
Our pleasure, Den Mother. Enjoy it while it lasts.
We plan to. Our water purification
Massive signal coming from the Advent network tower. It's global. Sir, I think you want to see this.
Fellow citizens, for 20 years, the Advent Coalition has worked tirelessly to repair the ravages and injustices of the old world. Under our stewardship, our cities prosper, our people flourish, and our world heals. And yet, among us, there are still those who would refuse to acknowledge the truth, who are determined to see all that we have achieved.
Multiple radar contacts on approach to Haven Alpha 7.
That must end.
Even as I speak to you today,
you've got incoming on approach.
Your signal's breaking up.
Territories to end this scourge once and for all.
They're right on top of you.
Losing you, Avenger.
Raise them again.
We will ensure your continued safety and well-being throughout this crisis.
Get your people out of there!
With your cooperation, we will overcome these radical elements and usher in another 20 years of peace and prosperity.
They don't stand a chance. Commander, we should get a squad ready to deploy.
So with that video, that gets us into our first retaliation mission, which is essentially we go in and we have to save as many civilians as possible. in the meantime, the pods of Advent, or the groups of Advent, are going to be killing them. So if they kill too many of the civilians, we fail. You also caught a glimpse of the new enemy type that we're going to be facing. So, I originally had planned on bringing Hawk Stops for this, and the reason being is on these retaliation missions you come in out of concealment. So, but however, Hawk Stops is tired, so better not bring him in. I go ahead and there's a glimpse of good old Marv GG sitting down there. I go ahead and I bring Panda, which should be fine. Shouldn't be too bad. This is that mission that I've had a little bit of anxiety about. This will most likely be the mission that our first chosen encounter will come up on. So, this ought to be interesting. The little bit of randomness that's going to be in this, anxiety on which one we're going to get. There's actually one in particular, I think, that is probably a lot harder to deal with than the others. I mean, you have the Warlock, the Hunter, and the Assassin. And between the three, the Assassin is definitely the worst one to have to deal with. And that's simply because she charges you. And she comes in concealed. Reapers are actually a really good counter for her, because the reduced sight, all you have to do is get a flank on her, and you reveal her. And once you have her revealed, you can actually start taking actions to grind her down pretty easy. So we ended up taking Panda, Nothing, Lauholm, and Lightmare. Lauholm, buddy, I know it seems like being a sharpshooter sucks, but it does get better. It gets a lot better, actually. Sharpshooters are one of those ones that is a class that you have to kind of suffer through the low levels of, and by the time they become a colonel, they end up being super, super powerful. Actually, it starts ramping up once you start getting squad sight. That allows you to take shots at enemies that your squad has line of sight on. So, as I said earlier, it would have been nice to have had Pox Tops, because no matter what, he starts out concealed, even in situations like this. And one of the reasons why is because on the very first move, guess what we do? Yeah, we activate a pod. It's only a 2 enemy pod, so it's not horrible. The sectoid is definitely the lower enemy on the priority chain. He has a higher chance of doing sonics than he does actually taking shots. So the trooper definitely needs to die first. Weirdly enough, I thought if I moved Lightmare there, she was actually going to get sight on the sectoid at the very least, but she has sight on no one. She's not able to take any shots outside of the grenade launcher. So I go ahead and move Panda up. This is more about just trying to see what my shot percentages are going to be, and to be honest, they're absolute crap. I would prefer to not have to use a grenade. I end up saving Nothing. I don't think I end up moving him until later, just simply because I know that shotgun is not going to get good accuracy. So I'm forced to use a grenade. So I end up grenading the trooper. I honestly probably could have situated that to where the grenade would have hit the sectoid. I want to call them sectopods, but the sectopod is an enemy type we're going to end up facing later in the game. So it's at this point I was like, let's move Nothing up, and then I was like, oh wait, Slash, I can actually run all the way to him and do it. So Nothing just runs up, slashes the dude, and it's over. Nice and easy. Ended up only having to take 2 actions to do so. So I throw Home and Panda into Overwatch and in that turn. And we immediately find this enemy type called the Faceless. And What makes him so dangerous is in these missions you have to save civilians. Luckily, in the first retaliation mission you do, there's no chance of you getting more than one. So after him, I know I'm safe to start saving them. And then also look who shows up. Good old Warlock. And his strengths are Soul Eater and Revenge, which is, Revenge is like, he has a chance to return fire against missed shots. And Soul Eater is when he deals damage to enemies, he regains health. His weaknesses were Shell Shock and Adversary Reapers, which means he takes... Shell Shock means he takes more damage from explosives, and Adversary Reapers means Reapers deal more damage to him. So, that's actually a pretty good roll on weaknesses and strengths, to be entirely honest. I just gotta remember to not take shots at him and not allow him to do damage to us. So of course in Advent fashion they just continue killing civilians, which I gotta be wary of. To be honest, we actually need to pick up the pace. So the thing about Faceless is you really just want to stay out of melee range of them. Their melee attacks have a cleave, so it kind of encourages you to, one, not have your soldier behind a car because he will blow up a car with his cleave, and two, not to group them together because his cleave will hit multiple soldiers. So you have to be careful with what cover you're behind, and as I say that I move Lightmare behind that truck. You have to be careful with what cover you're behind and how closely together you group people. So I ended up putting Panda about 3 spaces away from Lauholm, and right now it's about, let's get rid of this guy as quickly as possible. I wanted to take the 73% shot with nothing there, but I ended up deciding to move him back, and I moved him way too close to Lauholm, to be honest. So instead of taking the 73, I take the 61 and still hit him for 5. Sniping with a shotgun. So then I decided to take the next shot with Lightmare, and unfortunately, even though she looks absolutely badass as she's shooting that gun, she misses. And then hand it over to good old Panda, and Panda ends up hitting him and killing him. So it was good. That ended up taking a lot less time than what I thought. Good old Advent just keeps focusing on killing civilians. And it's funny because I'm in let's rush mode, but at the same time, I'm not entirely sure what the Warlock's abilities are. So I don't know how often he will take shots with his rifle, and I don't know entirely what all sonics he uses. So like the first ability I find out that he's able to do is summon the zombie, which Lauholm ends up missing an Overwatch shot on. It's got 4 health, so on one hand it's like, let's get rid of him as quick as possible, and then he uses that ability and I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure that ability with the way he's glowing and stuff probably means he's gonna blow up if he dies, but I'm not 100% sure. So I don't know what it's gonna do. So I ended up moving Lau behind the tree and taking the pistol shot, which was a 91% chance to hit. There's 3 damage, and I end up moving Lightmare up because, like I said, I'm in sort of let's hurry before they kill the civilians, but at the same time it's like let's be careful because we don't know what the Warlock can do, so I'm torn on what to do. So then I have Panda kill him, and this is where I find out what that ability does. Sets the car on fire, sets the tree on fire, blows the fence up the Panda was standing behind, and it's like, wow, I'm happy that he did not get closer. So that other pod just continues killing people, and that's I think that's 4 now that they've shot. The car blows up, takes out that tree. So it's like, okay, let's stay as far away from those zombies that dude summons as possible. So since I know the Faceless has already been revealed, I can go ahead and move up and save this citizen here with Lau. And I also realized that did not activate that secondary pod. So I figure if I activate them by moving Lau 1 more space, it's not that terrible, but it doesn't activate them. So then I move Lightmare up. and save that other civilian. And that still doesn't activate that pod. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I know that I can move at least that far without activating them. Now how far I can move to the left, I don't know. So I go ahead and move Panda up behind this other stump. And I'm pretty sure I lock him into Overwatch actually, yeah. And then I move Nothing over on the right. And because I used both of his moves, I don't get another chance. So on the enemy turn, Advent kills another civilian, so there's 4. I know we ended up losing 4. Yeah, we ended up losing 4, for sure. So now it's like, okay, so there's a building there. I know that I probably want to get Lau on top of that building. So I go ahead and I move Lightmare to the corner of the building in full cover. And toss her into Overwatch. I move Panda up to the fence. Toss him into Overwatch, which surprisingly has still not activated that pod. I kept waiting to activate that pod. I was trying to move as carefully as possible because I didn't want to activate the pod at a bad timing, and bad timing would be the last person you move, or the second to last person you move. You always want to, if you're going to activate a pod, you want to move it, you want to activate it on the first person. You want to try to anyways. That's not always possible. So I go ahead and I move Lau up to the corner of the building to prepare him for getting on top of it. That height advantage and the bonus aim he's going to get is going to help him when he does take shots with his rifle. And the Warlock decides to summon another zombie. So here comes another one. And if anything right now, he's just slightly annoying. I could actually see how this would be really bad if there was a crap ton of enemies, but with there not being, it's not that big of a deal. So Lau hits his Overwatch, Panda misses his, Nothing misses his, and Lightmare misses hers. So the chance of actually getting rid of that thing before it can get close didn't happen, but it's okay though. It's okay. It moves right beside Lightmare and it activates that ability. Where he starts glowing again. So after the previous example that I got with how big its explosive radius is, it's like, okay, I gotta get the hell away from this thing. So move Lightmare over and bam, that's when it activates the pod. The timing was pretty bad, but I guess it probably could have been worse. I could have actually gotten close enough to the Warlock to get him to do more than just summon those annoying spectral zombies. So it's at this point where, threat assessment wise, the Trooper is definitely the more dangerous of the two. As long as I stay out of movement range of that zombie, it's probably not going to detonate itself. I mean, unless it automatically detonates. So it's like, okay, let's kill the sectoid immediately with Nothing, since I know that I can grenade the Trooper and kill him. So Nothing gets another one-hit kill. And also, considering shrapnel, I hate to have to use a grenade, but I know I'm going to end up having to kill the Trooper. Home takes a pistol shot and misses. So now it's up to Lightmare to kill the zombie, because if Lightmare does not kill that zombie, then Panda's going to have to, and that's going to get the Trooper removed. But look at that. Dude, that zombie exploded. It took out the whole wall of that building and the fence that Panda was standing behind. So, it's insane. So I use Panda. I know I still have 2 grenades, so it's not the end of the world that I have to do this, it just sucks. So Panda uses a grenade and kills the Trooper that was hiding behind the gravestone. Warlock moves up, gets behind full cover. I thought for sure that now, since his pod was active, that he would actually start taking shots at people, especially considering Panda's only in half cover right now. But instead, he just does nothing. He just stands there and talks for a really long time. So Lau finally gets his opportunity. Honestly, before I took the shot at the zombie, I should have moved him on top of the building. But it's kind of a good thing I didn't, because I wasn't entirely sure how much of that building that zombie was going to blow up. So I go ahead and move Lau up, throw him in Overwatch, and I move Nightmare close enough to get the grenade launcher grenade off. And now that I actually think about it, I still had Lauholm's grenade too. So I technically had 3 grenades. But Lau was like way out of range. It would have at least taken a turn and a half to get close enough. So Nightmare's grenade destroyed most of his cover, and he's slightly exposed. So at this point, I don't want to put Panda in half cover, because I don't want to give him a... If he's going to have to take shots, I want him to take shots at people that are in full cover. So I move Panda up to the corner of the building and throw him in Overwatch, just because I'm not sure if the Warlock's going to move. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know the extent of his abilities just yet. So I go ahead and I move Panda up, and I go ahead and use his grenade. It was very tempting to just take the shots, but I had to keep reminding myself of revenge, and I didn't want him doing return fire on me. So with that, he decides to summon a trooper, an Advent trooper, and this is hilarious actually. So the trooper activates, he runs, and Panda's like, nah bruh, and instantly fucking kills him. So then the Warlock's like, you know what, screw you. And then summons another trooper. It actually looks like a stun lancer, which is a enemy type that we have not encountered just yet. But that's what it looks like. It looks like a stun lancer. If you look closely enough, I may try to get a zoom shot of this actually. But if you look close enough, you can actually see what looks like the faint outline of a blade on his back. So now I have the issue of, I think that when the Warlock is in that stance, he doesn't take damage. I mean, it looks like he's got a shield. So it's at this point, it's like, okay, I gotta reload Nightmare, reload Panda, and then I gotta check the shot percentages. So it's like, it's 55, that's not good. Nothing, I think it's 48, that's not good. And I was like, oh, well, let's just slash him. Well, guess what? The side that gives me cover is going to set me on fire, and the side that's going to leave me exposed to the Warlock, that's not good either. I don't want to be exposed to him, nor do I want to be set on fire. So I was like, okay, never mind. So I move Lau up to the corner there, and pretty sure I ended up taking a pistol shot. Yeah, I take a pistol shot, Lau hits him for 3, so he only needs one more hit and he's dead. So between the 3 of them, Nightmare actually has the best chance of hitting him, because it's pretty much point blank range. So I have Nightmare shoot him, and that takes care of him. And now I take a look at the Warlock. He's out of that weird little stance he was in. So I almost took a shot with Panda. I really considered it. I was like, well, let's get guaranteed damage, and what better way to get guaranteed damage than to have nothing slash him in the face with a sword. So, nothing runs up, hops in the air, bow, it's over. All that anxiety over meeting the Chosen, and this is what I get. And to be honest, I don't know if I haven't seen the full extent of his abilities. I don't know if I got lucky on RNG with him, but I mean, really, he was not that much to be worried about. Easy peasy. We even walked away flawless. Nobody got injured or anything like that. We gained 5 ability points for knocking him out. Though granted, I'm probably not going to screw around too much. When I get the opportunity to hunt the guy, I'm probably going to hunt him and go kill him. And that way I don't have to worry about him just randomly popping in on missions on me. We ended up saving 9 out of 13 civilians. Ended up working out really well. So I can't complain. It was a good mission. Good job, guys. Good job. I'm going to end up putting some of these propaganda posters in Discord. Even the automatically generated ones are funny. So I'm actually going to get in there and start playing around and making some of my own as well. I'm sure we can get some hilarious ones put together. It ought to be great. It's gonna be great, guys. It's gonna be great. All that anxiety for that mission for nothing. Absolutely nothing. That was a lot easier than what I thought it was going to be. So unfortunately, Lau, Nothing, and Lightmare are tired, which means they're going to have to sit out for a couple of days. But everyone did get promoted, so I went ahead and made Panda our medic. We're going to need one sooner rather than later. Demolition is definitely a lot better than Suppression. Having reliable cover destruction outside of just your grenades is absolutely perfect. I went with Shadow Step over Shadow Strike. I'm not going to be too concerned with keeping my Rangers in concealment, considering I have Reapers that can do most of the scouting. And Long Watch is definitely better than Return Fire. Long Watch gives Lauham the ability to fire on enemies that the squad can see, so his distance doesn't really matter too much. And there is a hilarious propaganda poster that I am definitely going to put in Discord. You got a brief glimpse of it. Fire and Ice. That's hilarious. But yeah, all that anxiety was wasted. Absolutely wasted. We got a repeater and a PCS speed, so that's going to be great. The PCS speed is going to be really good for our Rangers or Reapers, and the repeater gives us a chance of one-hit kills. Faceless Autopsy is going to get us the Mimic Beacon, which is going to come in handy.
And yet you have exceeded them.
So, I guess with that, thank you guys for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys in episode 5. I think that's where we're at. The 1.5 thing's got me all screwed up. But anyways, you guys take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.